Imagine a world in 2035, a world where every person gets exactly what they need, no compromises. Routine tasks are gone, people work less, rest more, and creativity thrives like never before. Megacities have become living organisms. Infrastructure adapts to human needs in real time. No traffic jams, no delays. Science develops new medicines, engineers new materials, and brings the climate under control. For the first time, we're beginning to truly understand the whole universe. All of this became possible thanks to a single, invisible force that connects every part of life: AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. That technology refers to an artificial mind capable of learning and solving problems across a wide range of fields, on par with human intelligence. Experts compare its potential impact to previous industrial revolutions. Just like electricity, the steam engine, or the internet, AGI promises to reshape the global economy, and we're standing at its doorstep. Estimates on when AGI will arrive vary, but more and more experts agree we're likely to meet it before 2030. This is not science fiction. Even today, AI systems can diagnose illnesses, write code, generate media, and hold conversations that feel surprisingly human. And that's only the beginning. So let's imagine for a moment that the predictions were right, and the next decade truly becomes the era of general AI. In this video, we'll explore how AGI will transform the economy, politics, and everyday life, what opportunities it might unlock, and what risks may come with them. And most importantly, how the role of humans will evolve in a world where intelligence is no longer ours alone. You're watching World 5.0. Get comfortable, pour yourself a big mug of tea, and let's dive in. Artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction, it's part of our present. Day by day, AI weaves deeper into our lives, touching more industries and decisions. From scientific breakthroughs to creative industries, AI is transforming our work, boosting productivity, and unlocking new potential. And while today's AI is mostly narrow and task-specific, AGI is the next leap. It won't just arrive, it will shape both personal choices and global systems. AGI will be embedded into everyday life, from healthcare and education to the economy and the natural environment. Let's explore where AGI will have the biggest impact and what it could mean for each of us. Let's begin with everyday life and how AGI might change it entirely. Most notably, it will take over all routine tasks, from scheduling your day and managing your finances to maintaining your health. Imagine a personal assistant that understands every aspect of your life and offers deeply personalized solutions. An assistant that helps you make decisions with ease and confidence, optimizing your daily life for both convenience and long-term benefit. Ideally, this assistant wouldn't be just a set of apps, but a unified system. A digital environment with you, the commander and decision maker, at the center. AGI would amplify your abilities like an exoskeleton for the mind, learning from you, adapting and evolving alongside your goals. It would adapt to your lifestyle and your values, taking into account not only your personal traits, but also the broader context, your city, country, even global events. It would learn how you think, support your decisions, keep you motivated, and help with everything: learning, productivity, even relationships. It's a mentor, a personal assistant, a therapist, and a strategist, all in one. And most importantly, it's always there, so you never have to face a fast-changing world alone. Flexible, empathetic, and ready to adapt to whatever life throws your way. On a broader scale, by the 2030s, educational programs will adapt to your personal learning style, healthcare will offer prevention and treatment based on your genome and lifestyle, and entertainment services will create tailored experiences just for you. Even manufacturing will shift. With AGI and robotics, factories will create custom products at little extra cost. According to analysts, up to 45% of AI-driven economic gains by 2030 will come specifically from personalized goods and services. Since we've touched on the economy, let's dig into the numbers. By 2030, the impact of AI is projected to be massive. PricewaterhouseCoopers estimates that AI could add up to $15.7 trillion to the global economy, equivalent to a 26% increase in worldwide GDP. AI should transform the global economy as electricity and the steam engine did in their own times, says Chris Heisey, Chief Investment Officer for Merrill and Bank of America Private Bank. By the 2030s, AGI systems are expected to take over most routine business tasks, from accounting to logistics, freeing up human attention for strategy, creativity, and leadership. It will automate operations, extract insights from vast datasets, and support smarter decision-making at every level. The result? A surge in productivity, new industries, and entirely new categories of products and services. AI will become a core engine of economic growth. According to the International Monetary Fund, AI could add an extra 0.5% to global GDP growth per year over the next 5 years. But the benefits won't be distributed equally. 2/3 of the gains are expected to go to the world's two largest economies, the US and China, which together may capture around 70% of the total economic upside. In manufacturing, the integration of AGI will boost output while lowering costs. Future factories will run with minimal downtime, use resources with precision, and manage global supply chains in real time. This level of optimization could significantly reduce the cost of goods and services, making them more affordable and accessible worldwide. AGI offers what some call an efficiency dividend, a surplus of time and resources that can be reinvested into the future. As one Merrill Lynch analyst put it, the rise of generative AI marks an iPhone moment for the industry, a foundational platform for countless applications, accessible to billions. And it's not just factories. Offices are being transformed too. Intelligent systems now handle paperwork, respond to routine queries, and manage data. Tasks that once filled a 40-hour week could soon be completed in just a few hours, opening the door to shorter workdays, longer weekends, and more human-centered lives. When production becomes dramatically more efficient, the economy can expand without triggering inflation. The real question then becomes, how do we distribute this new surplus wisely? That's a challenge we'll explore later. Now let's turn to another area where AGI could make a profound impact: healthcare. By the 2030s, intelligent medical assistance will be a standard part of everyday life. AGI will support doctors by processing vast datasets, from patient histories and genetic profiles to lab results, enabling faster, more accurate diagnoses and highly personalized treatments. In China, for example, there already exists a virtual environment with AI doctors and AI patients. The project is called Agent Hospital. For now, it's just a sandbox for training neural networks, but the results are already impressive. It's possible that soon AI will be conducting up to 90% of initial consultations, freeing up human doctors to focus on complex or urgent cases. And have you heard of AlphaFold? If not, this is one of those cases where AI has truly proven its power in molecular medicine. By predicting the structures of more than 200 million proteins, it has opened the door to new materials, drugs, and frontiers in biotechnology, accelerating biomedical research by years or even decades. This achievement lays the groundwork for deeper AGI integration across the life sciences. Step by step, medicine is shifting from reactive to proactive, from treating illness after the fact to predicting and preventing it before it begins. AGI is accelerating discovery across nearly every scientific field, and AlphaFold is just the beginning. In physics, AGI is simulating complex quantum systems, predicting atomic behavior under extreme conditions, and identifying new materials with extraordinary properties, including candidates for room temperature superconductors. In astrophysics, it's processing massive datasets from telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope, detecting patterns buried in noise to help identify exoplanets, black holes, and even potential biosignatures of extraterrestrial life. AGI also plays a critical role in optimizing the design of space missions, reducing energy requirements and improving overall efficiency. In fundamental science, AGI can generate, test, and refine hypotheses at a pace no human research team could match, uncovering hidden patterns and proposing new laws of nature where before we had only theories. This surge in discovery will radically expand access to knowledge and transform how we learn, reshaping education for the next generation of thinkers. As AGI accelerates scientific progress, the overall level of human knowledge is set to rise faster than ever before. In education, it will design personalized learning experiences, adapting lessons to each student's knowledge, interests, and pace. Programs will adjust in real time, ensuring that no learner is left behind and that curiosity stays alive. Teachers will remain at the heart of the classroom, guiding discussions, sparking imagination, and cultivating critical thinking, while AGI handles routine tasks like assigning exercises, evaluating performance, and tracking progress. The result will be a shift from rigid, one-size-fits-all schooling to a lifelong dynamic learning journey, accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any stage of life. Education will become more fluid, inclusive, and aligned with the needs of both individuals and society. Another important area where AGI will be used is politics. It will be used to support smarter, more transparent governance. Leaders and politicians are beginning to rely on intelligent systems to analyze vast datasets, from economic indicators to public sentiment, to better understand the likely consequences of their decisions. AGI can simulate the impact of proposed reforms, flag emerging crises, and help leaders take preventive action before problems escalate. It also enhances accountability. By the 2030s, fact-checking will become nearly instantaneous, as AGI systems will cross-reference information from countless sources in real time. This will make it harder to spread disinformation and easier to expose hidden financial networks and corruption. As global AI infrastructures mature, concealing major political or corporate abuses will become increasingly difficult. The algorithms simply won't let them go unnoticed. General artificial intelligence is even beginning to reshape justice systems. By reviewing legal precedents, analyzing evidence, and applying existing laws, it can help judges and lawyers reach fairer, more consistent outcomes, reducing bias and improving legal clarity. In some countries, AI is already being used to recommend sentences based on principles of proportionality and risk assessment, rather than relying solely on rigid interpretations of the law. But in the 2030s, the fight for justice should go hand in hand with the fight for environmental sustainability. And here too, AGI is becoming an indispensable ally. By the middle of the decade, ultra-powerful AI systems will be capable of processing millions of variables to forecast climate trends and design strategies to mitigate their impact. AGI will help to develop low-carbon energy solutions, discover advanced materials for energy storage, and coordinate large-scale ecosystem restoration efforts. It manages land use and water distribution in drought-prone regions, helping to prevent crop failures and protect vulnerable communities. Even today, AI plays a key role in disaster prevention. Google's Flood Hub provides real-time flood forecasts, while DeepMind-powered models have increased wind farm efficiency by 20% through precise energy output predictions. AI is also enhancing environmental monitoring. UN programs now use satellite data to detect methane leaks at oil and gas installations, enabling rapid intervention to prevent toxic emissions from spreading. According to the Boston Consulting Group, AI-driven technologies could reduce global greenhouse gas emissions by 5 to 10% by 2030, an effect comparable to that of major international climate agreements. AGI can also help manage national power grids, dynamically balancing supply and demand, while integrating renewable energy sources with minimal disruption. What once required trial and error can now be simulated millions of times in seconds to find optimal outcomes. And in urban areas, AGI is helping create more sustainable living environments, managing smart buildings, optimizing public transit systems, and reducing emissions across entire cities. You don't have to look far to find early prototypes of AI-powered cities. The foundations are already being laid today. In one of our previous videos, we talked about Neom, a futuristic megacity under construction in the Saudi Arabian desert. This ambitious project is designed to be governed by advanced AI systems, from energy-efficient architecture and autonomous transportation to real-time urban logistics. In Neom, AI isn't just a digital assistant. It's envisioned as the city's central nervous system, analyzing the movement of people, goods, and data to optimize sustainability, safety, and urban comfort on an entirely new level. So, by the 2030s and 2040s, AGI is expected to leave its mark on every aspect of life. It will operate factories and power grids, assist patients and students, advise mayors and ministers, and even help safeguard the planet. General AI will free up time and energy for what truly matters, for human growth, for family, for creativity, for lifelong learning and vibrant communities. All the things that give life meaning, yet we're often sidelined in a world built around working to survive. Some futurists already describe the coming decades as a potential era of human flourishing. But this future won't arrive automatically. It will depend on wise choices. The benefits of AGI won't distribute themselves. They will require conscious effort, reforming institutions, updating policies, ensuring fair access, and supporting people as work evolves. Only with thoughtful governance can gains in productivity translate into gains in well-being, not just rising profits for a handful of corporations. The promise of AGI is vast, but so are the stakes. Let's now take a closer look at the problems we may face and the solutions that could determine the future of this technology and of us all. Despite its enormous potential and usefulness, the rise of AGI also brings serious risks, and ignoring them would be a mistake. That's why now is the time to confront these challenges head-on before the consequences catch us off guard. The coming decade may well become a test of humanity's maturity. Will we be able to integrate universal AI into our world without triggering social upheaval, economic instability, or loss of control? In this chapter, we'll explore the key risks and what it will take to navigate them wisely. One of the most serious risks linked to AGI is bias. The problem lies in the fact that algorithms are trained on real-world data, and the real world is far from free of distortions. These systems can end up absorbing and reinforcing the very inequalities we hope to overcome. If the data reflects social stereotypes, hidden discrimination, or structural injustice, AGI won't just replicate those patterns, it could amplify them at scale. And when such systems become deeply embedded in decision-making across healthcare, hiring, education, and finance, the consequences can be severe. Even small systemic errors can lead to widespread injustice. Take medicine, for example. If a global AI diagnostic system is trained mostly on data from Europe and North America, it may struggle to accurately diagnose patients from other ethnic backgrounds, simply because it never learned their cases. That's why strict human oversight is non-negotiable. It's not enough to build powerful models. We need to understand how they arrive at decisions and retain the ability to intervene when something goes wrong. Emerging disciplines such as AI auditing, bias mitigation, model transparency, and human-in-the-loop oversight are increasingly critical. Equally vital is regulation. Robust legal frameworks must ensure that no AI system operates beyond accountability. However, bias is not the gravest concern. This leads us to another, even more fundamental risk: the possibility of losing full control over AGI. This concern was raised by former OpenAI researcher Leopold Aschenbrenner in his essay Situational Awareness. We dove into that essay in one of our previous videos. Be sure to check it out. At the core of this issue lies a really chilling question. What happens if AGI grows so intelligent, so rapidly and so autonomous that we can't predict or control its actions? Many AI experts now admit that advanced AI could pose an existential threat to humanity. This isn't about Hollywood-style robot wars. The real danger is far subtler: an AGI that pursues its goals with relentless precision, sidestepping safeguards, exploiting loopholes, or causing unintended harm. Take the classic paperclip problem. A super-intelligent system programmed to maximize paperclip production might consume the entire planet's resources, not out of malice, but blind efficiency. The crux of the challenge is AI alignment, ensuring AGI's objectives stay in sync with human values. Power and efficiency aren't enough. AGI must be safe, transparent, and ethically grounded. From an engineering standpoint, AI alignment is the top priority, aligning AGI's goals with human values. AI can't just work, it must operate within ethical boundaries. This requires intensive research, teaching AI to understand human preferences, building transparent models, limiting unchecked self-learning, and designing robust testing environments and fail-safe shutdown systems. As AI models become more advanced, we may soon create AGI that's technically possible but too risky to deploy without ironclad safety measures. At that point, discipline and transparency from developers won't just be nice-to-haves, they'll be non-negotiable. Still, no system is foolproof. Bugs or unforeseen outcomes can't be entirely ruled out. Society faces a lingering shadow, a slim but real chance that a hyper-powerful AI could, under the wrong conditions, spiral out of control. Like nuclear energy, perfect safety is a myth. The goal is to reduce risks to a manageable level. Even if we crack AI alignment, new dangers loom, not from the AI itself, but from those who might wield it for harm. The next threat is cybercrime on an unprecedented scale. AGI could become a devastating weapon for deception, hacking, and manipulation. In January 2024, a Hong Kong company employee wired $25 million to scammers after a video call she believed was with her CFO and colleagues. Shockingly, none of them were real. The scammers used deepfakes to perfectly mimic their faces and voices, tricking her into authorizing the transfer. Yes, this is the new reality. AI is being weaponized in dirtiest ways. Experts warn that within the next 2 years, fraud powered by generative AI could rack up over $40 billion in losses in the US alone. By the 2030s, these tools will be even more convincing and widely available, making it harder than ever to combat disinformation and cybercrime. Worse yet, hackers could hijack powerful AGI systems themselves. Imagine an attacker seizing control of an AGI to cripple critical infrastructure or sway public opinion. Aschenbrenner has also pointed out this threat. Ironically, our best defense against AI-driven crime is AI itself, an AI versus AI battle in cybersecurity. We're forging AI shields to counter AI swords. But this cat-and-mouse game between attackers and defenders is likely to spiral endlessly. That's why boosting digital literacy is vital to avoid falling for scams. Meanwhile, governments must crack down harder on cybercrime and invest in cutting-edge threat detection systems. But threats don't just come from the outside. Our growing reliance on AI in daily life poses its own dangers. Even without malicious intent, leaning too heavily on AGI could leave humanity exposed in unexpected ways. What happens if AGI does nearly everything for us? Could we start thinking less sharply? This worry is already surfacing. GPS overuse dulls our sense of direction, calculators weaken mental math, and tools like autocomplete or GPT assistants make it harder to write or articulate original thoughts. By the 2030s, we're seeing a trend called intellectual atrophy. In many fields, people are learning to craft perfect AI prompts instead of solving problems themselves. Prompt engineering is becoming a prized skill, but hands-on expertise may fade. If this goes too far, society risks losing foundational knowledge. People might forget how to function without AI. This creates a new vulnerability. What if the systems crash or go offline? Could we still manage infrastructure, deliver healthcare, or make critical decisions? Over-automation without maintaining human skills as a backup is a gamble. That's why teaching core skills remains vital, even in an AI-driven world. Think of a pilot flying manually. Autopilot runs the show, but human know-how saves lives when it fails. There's also a psychological toll. Constant reliance on AI advisors could erode self-confidence. For kids growing up with digital assistants, independence might take a hit. AGI could turn into an all-knowing big brother everyone leans on for answers. This shifts social dynamics. Relying less on each other could deepen isolation. On the flip side, some argue that offloading routine tasks to AI could free up time for human connection. The outcome hinges on how we weave AGI into our lives. More on that soon. So what can we do? Embed digital hygiene in school curriculums, teach people to wield AI as a tool, not a crutch, promote independent thinking and personal accountability, build cultures where AGI amplifies human potential, not replaces it. Just as we mastered personal hygiene in the industrial age, the AGI era demands a new kind of hygiene for interacting with intelligence. This means filtering information, preserving key skills, and balancing convenience with independence. It's not just a task for schools, it's a mission for our entire civilization. But AGI doesn't just reshape how we think and behave, it upends the very core of our economy. After addressing digital hygiene, we face another big question. What happens to jobs when intelligent systems outpace humans in speed, cost, and productivity? Yes, this leads us to a massive challenge for civilization, one sparking heated debates: unemployment. Even the most advanced artificial intelligence can't erase the need to prepare people for a new economic reality. The problem isn't just disappearing jobs, it's the risk of millions being left behind in the digital economy. For AGI to benefit society, it's not enough to build clever algorithms. We must overhaul human systems. It begins with education reform, focusing on skills that work alongside AI, not against it. Critical thinking, creativity, adaptability, and digital literacy. Equally critical are retraining programs for workers whose roles are being automated. Fears of machines stealing jobs are partly coming true. Millions of professions are evolving or vanishing. But don't hit the panic button. This story has another side. Experts believe that claims of jobs vanishing entirely are overblown. History shows that as some jobs disappear, new ones emerge. It's a pattern we've seen before. When electricity became widespread, it didn't just eliminate old jobs. It created millions of new ones tied to maintaining and expanding the electric grid. Entire industries emerged around energy production, infrastructure, and safety. The same happened with the rise of the internet. New professions like system administrators, data analysts, cybersecurity experts and digital marketers appeared, roles that didn't exist before. It's like a hydra. Cut off one head, and new ones sprout. Artificial general intelligence will likely trigger a similar shift. Disruption, sure, but also a wave of fresh fields and opportunities. The rise of AGI is giving birth to entire fields of work we hadn't heard of before. AI model trainers, algorithm ethics auditors, virtual world architects, and digital wellness coaches, to name a few. The World Economic Forum predicts the AI era could create more jobs than it eliminates, around 97 million new roles as early as 2025. Once again, the nature of work is transforming. Machines will tackle repetitive tasks, freeing humans to focus on challenges needing flexibility, creativity, and human connection. In journalism, writers shift to editors. AI drafts articles, and humans polish style and check facts. In design, algorithms churn out concepts, and human curators refine the best ones. These human plus AI partnerships are becoming standard. AI handles the grunt work and data crunching, while humans make the final call, guided by values, context, and empathy. Still, the transition won't be seamless. To avoid mass unemployment, especially for mid-skilled workers, we need bold initiatives. This demands massive investment in adult education, tech training programs, and support for small businesses fueling jobs in emerging sectors. The work week might shrink, and society must ensure this extra time fuels self-fulfillment, not joblessness. Ultimately, we'll need to redefine careers. People will likely switch fields multiple times, continuously reskilling with AI's help. Governments face a huge task, bolstering social safety nets, from enhanced unemployment benefits to testing universal basic income, to ensure no one is left behind by tech progress. Take the United Arab Emirates, where oil wealth funds citizen benefits. The success of AGI could become a new digital equivalent of oil, a wealth source driving sustainable income for all, untied to physical labor. If policies to protect and prepare people fall short, social unrest is sure to flare. Even the most game-changing technologies can breed fear and pushback. Some reject robot assistance outright. Others dread losing jobs or control over their lives. By the 2030s, these feelings could snowball into protests, sabotage, or even anti-AI political movements. That's why cultural and psychological adaptation matters as much as technology itself. Trust hinges on transparency, open public conversations, and including people in the decision-making process. Citizens need to feel that AGI isn't being imposed on them, but woven into their lives in ways that honor their values and ease their concerns. Yet, unrest isn't just about fearing tech, it's also about feeling cheated. If AGI's benefits are hoarded by a few, whether nations, corporations, or elites, it fuels resentment and mistrust. This makes the next big threat not just economic, but a matter of political and social stability. One of the gravest risks of AGI's rise is the concentration of power and access. Today, a few tech giants dominate cutting-edge innovation. If they pioneer true AGI, they could wield near-godlike influence, shaping markets, science, and society itself. This concentration of resources and brainpower could spark an unmatched imbalance in wealth and authority. A single AGI, outpacing competitors in coordinating investments, production, and research, could monopolize entire sectors. In an authoritarian regime's grip, it could fuel total surveillance and control. If only a few tech-savvy nations access AGI, a stark technological chasm could split the global core from the periphery. By 2030, the US and China will lead in AI investment, data, and supercomputing might. This duopoly tightens its hold on AGI's core resources, alarming other nations. The European Union, India, Japan, and some developing countries are racing to close the gap. This is happening through educating the population, building data centers, and creating their own AI models. Yet the divide persists and could deepen. These fears are driving global calls for fairer cooperation. Ideas range from open-source AI and data sharing to antitrust laws and caps on computing power. New alliances are emerging to foster data exchange, joint research, and shared standards. Some propose international AGI research hubs, like a CERN but for AGI, to lower barriers and curb a tech monopoly. But cooperation is not guaranteed. If major powers can't align on fair rules, rivalry and tensions could escalate. AGI might not unite nations. It could ignite new conflicts. It's getting clearer. Artificial general intelligence is not just a tech breakthrough. It's a force that could redraw the global balance of power. By the 2030s, it will reshape international security, economics, and politics, amplifying old rivalries and sparking new risks. One of the greatest threats is the race for AI dominance. The more advanced a nation's artificial intelligence, the greater its edge in conflicts, pushing others to scramble for parity, often sidelining safety and ethics. This security dilemma makes the race almost unstoppable. AGI ushers in not only new weapons like autonomous drones and AI-driven cyber attacks, but also tools to prevent conflict, like early warning systems and models predicting escalation. Here's the paradox. Whoever masters artificial general intelligence first gains a strategic upper hand and the heavy burden of safeguarding global stability. This thrusts international AGI agreements into the spotlight. Think nuclear treaties, but for AI. Proposals include banning fully autonomous weapons without human oversight, mandating transparent algorithms, and enforcing audit protocols for critical systems. To avoid chaos, the world needs a new trust framework, mechanisms for arms control, knowledge sharing, and joint projects that foster confidence. We've seen this work before in climate accords and nuclear protocols. The ultimate challenge is cooperating despite the lure of dominance. Yet here lies the opportunity. If nations agree on fair and safe AGI, we won't just dodge disaster. We'll transform AGI into a global public good, open to all. The general AI era's geopolitical landscape will hinge on one core choice: compete or collaborate. Will leading powers slide into fragmented techno-nationalism chasing self-interest? Or will they see that AGI's potential and risks demand shared rules? Our choice will decide whether AGI's rise fuels shared prosperity or deepens divides and ignites new conflicts. Beyond the arms race, a fierce battle for resources is heating up. AGI development demands colossal computing power, cutting-edge chips, vast energy supplies, and scarce materials like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements. Mastering their extraction and production is now a matter of national security. The AI industry's supply chains span the globe from Congolese mines to Taiwanese chip plants, making certain regions flashpoints in a high-stakes global contest. Today, only a handful of countries and companies control the production of the most advanced chips. Nations are racing to secure AI sovereignty, building local supply chains and cutting dependence on foreign providers, while balancing global trade with the drive for tech independence. But securing resources is only half the equation. Creating artificial general intelligence demands massive infrastructure to fuel its ever-escalating computational needs. AI data centers are already guzzling electricity at an alarming rate. By 2030, global energy demand for AI could triple, hitting roughly 1,500 terawatt-hours annually, matching the entire power consumption of India today. Powering this surge demands a massive infrastructure overhaul. Investments in data centers and networks are skyrocketing, with global spending on AI software, hardware, and services set to top $500 billion by 2027. By the 2030s, we'll need ultra-high-capacity networks, distributed cloud systems, quantum or specialized AI chips, and more. Building this backbone is a daunting task, not just for tech giants, but for the planet itself. We must plan now to power data centers with clean energy and manage their waste heat. Repurposing excess heat to warm cities is already being tested and could become a game changer. If AI keeps leaning on fossil fuels, its carbon footprint will soar. The International Monetary Fund warns that data centers' growing emissions are a red flag, urging AI to go green to prove its worth for sustainability. This calls for green AI, shifting servers to renewables, designing energy-efficient algorithms, and embracing resource-saving tech like specialized chips and leaner neural networks. Ultimately, artificial general intelligence could supercharge our fight against climate change. It's a smart toolkit for tackling the ecological crisis. If used wisely, the 2030s and 2040s could mark the era when we turn the tide on climate change. It all boils down to one thing: laws and regulation. To ensure safety, fairness, and sustainability, robust legal frameworks and smart governance are non-negotiable. Laws often trail behind tech breakthroughs, but with AGI, that lag could turn disastrous. Who's responsible for an AI's actions? How do we shield privacy when AI sifts through oceans of personal data? We need bold new laws tackling key sectors from healthcare to justice, requiring mandatory certifications, clear transparency rules, and ironclad accountability systems. Special focus must go to digital rights: the right to know you're dealing with an AI, the right to challenge automated decisions, and safeguards against algorithmic bias. Ethical codes for developers, perhaps even a formal oath, could become standard. AGI demands engineers uphold ethical standards on par with doctors or lawyers. Globally, we might need an international AI watchdog. Think International Atomic Energy Agency, but for AI under the UN or G20. Its mission: enforce safety protocols, coordinate data sharing, and curb dangerous AGI uses, especially in warfare. AGI's vast power casts an inescapable shadow of risks. A tool this potent can transform the world for the better or magnify our worst flaws if robust safeguards aren't in place. The challenges are twofold: technological, securing safety, clarity, and fairness; and societal, reforming institutions, updating laws, and rethinking how we share resources and opportunities. The task is colossal. The rise of AGI in the 2030s and 2040s won't be a seamless ride. It'll be a bumpy journey of trial, error, and tough choices. Yet, right now, humanity holds a rare chance to shape the future. Our wisdom will decide whether AGI ushers in an era of prosperity and unity or deepens divides and fuels conflict. Amid these challenges, one question looms large. What role will humans play in the AGI era? How do we safeguard freedom, purpose, and agency in a world where machines can do nearly everything? The answer awaits in the next chapter. The rise of artificial general intelligence will reshape what it means to be human in profound ways. If machines match or outstrip human abilities across countless fields, where do we stand? What does humanity mean when intelligence isn't ours alone? The hopeful vision paints a tight partnership between humans and AGI. Machines tackle the grind, crunching numbers, automating repetitive tasks, sifting through data, while we, humans, steer the ship, guiding with creativity, ethics, and purpose. As we already said, many jobs will morph into human plus AI hybrids, where success hinges on mastering AI's potential. An architect no longer sketches every detail by hand. They set the vision, and artificial intelligence churns out dozens of designs. The architect picks the best and refines it, blending human needs with artistic flair. A doctor doesn't puzzle over diagnoses. AI analyzes thousands of variables, and the doctor crafts a precise treatment plan grounded in its insights. A teacher leads the lessons and engages with students, while the AI handles curriculum design, adapts lesson plans to the level of each class or individual student, tracks progress, and suggests improvements. And programmers skip tedious coding marathons. With AI, they build complex systems faster, freeing time for bold ideas and creative solutions. Machines deliver speed, precision, and raw power. We bring imagination, empathy, and moral compass. Human work isn't fading, it's getting smarter. Even if AGI becomes a problem-solving wizard, the big questions like what should we do and why stay ours to answer. We are the captains setting the course, while AI, like a trusty autopilot, maps the fastest path. In business, leaders define the mission, conquering a market or launching a breakthrough, while AI crunches strategies and optimizes costs. Strategy and purpose, that's still our domain. For this partnership to thrive, we must keep human in the loop as a core principle. Humans must stay in the driver's seat, especially on matters of life, health, or rights. AI might craft a flawless plan, but only we can judge if it reflects our values and ideals. The dark side of this transformation is clear and unsettling for many. But let's take a different perspective. Yes, artificial intelligence can be a partner, but also a rival, challenging us to step up. Machines already outplay us at chess and Go, compose music, create art that rivals human work, and crunch data at breakneck speed. By the 2030s, their reach will stretch across even more fields. That raises a tough question. Is artificial intelligence stealing what makes us human? But here's another way to see it. It's a chance to grow. Take creativity. Artists, writers, and musicians see AI churning out stunning work. They ask, so what's my role? The answer is clear. Bring what machines lack. AI can craft a perfect tune, but only a human can weave in soul, lived experience, and stories that stir hearts. A writer might lean on AI for a rough plot, then shape it with their unique voice, wit, and warmth. This isn't a battle for survival. It's a race to stand out. Younger generations get it. They're learning to think creatively, connect emotionally, and tell stories AI can't touch. The workplace tells a similar story. Sure, AI outperforms average efforts, whether in offices or on stage, faster and cheaper. But that's not a dead end. It's a call to level up. To shine, you need to bring something extraordinary, bold energy, fresh ideas, the spark to inspire. An architect whose designs pulse with culture and emotion will always eclipse an AI optimizing blueprints. A journalist uncovering stories that grip hearts remains untouchable. Facing AI is like sparring with a world champ. It forces you to train harder and unearth your deepest strengths. For companies and nations, the stakes are just as high. Those who harness artificial intelligence gain a sharp edge, moving quicker, working smarter, and innovating fearlessly. But there's no need to despair. Instead of monopolies and growing divides, we can forge a world where tech is widely shared, and nations and businesses vie not for control, but for the boldest ideas and solutions that uplift people. Picture it as the Tech Olympics. The winner isn't the most powerful, but the one who wields their tools with the greatest wisdom. Here's the crux: the future is ours to shape. We can fear AI as a rival or embrace it as a catalyst that propels us to new peaks. The 2030s will be a hybrid reality. We'll compete with AI in some arenas and collaborate in others. But one role stays firmly human: meaning makers. Artificial intelligence may outpace us in calculations, but only we decide what those calculations are for. The era of AGI weaving into every corner of life offers boundless potential alongside daunting challenges. History shows that every technological leap, steam, electricity, computers, has brought both breakthroughs and upheaval. Yet, humanity has always thrived by taming these forces. In the 2030s and 2040s, AGI could become as transformative as electricity was in the 20th century. It holds the power to boost global prosperity, crack problems once deemed impossible, and even redefine humanity itself, especially in a world where daily toil no longer defines our purpose. We stand on the brink of a decade that could spark civilization's true golden age, an era where intelligence, even artificial, helps us conquer disease, hunger, and climate crises, democratizes knowledge, and lifts living standards worldwide. But this future isn't a given. It demands wisdom, collaboration, and accountability. We must act thoughtfully to ensure AGI's benefits reach everyone, to minimize risks to safety and freedom, and to keep our humanity front and center amid the rush for progress. We can shape AGI into a tool and ally, not a threat. A tool that's shared, transparent, and answerable to society. The 2030s will test our readiness to become curators of this new intelligence on Earth. Let's hope that by the 2040s, we'll look back and say, humanity harnessed AGI for good, and its rise lifted us all. Don't fear technology, fear human missteps, but trust in our knack for solutions. With bold optimism and a will to act, let's stride into a future where artificial general intelligence, at the heart of it all, serves every one of us. That was World 5.0. Catch you in the next dive.